Hello, welcome. I'm Sonia and I'm a life coach and a human design reader as well as a Kundalini yoga and meditation teacher. And I help people step into their power, their purpose, and their unique soul-based leadership. I help people also discover and own their gifts, their talents, and I help them connect to their soul and their spirit. So today I wanted to talk a little bit more about my process that I use myself and I use with my clients. And this process, again, helps you step into your power and your worth. And yeah, I organized it into 5 steps that you can use, and hopefully you enjoy it. So the first step, really, the first thing I like to start with is knowing your human design. So knowing your chart helps you know about your aura and helps you figure out the best way to interact with the world, with other people, in order to experience more flow and have your life feel more effortless. So the first thing about your human design, the most important thing, is your energy type. And there are 5. So there are manifesting generators, manifestors, projectors, and reflectors. And again, your energy type is all about how you exchange energy with the world around you. It also tells you your strategy. So for manifesting generators, the strategy is to respond. For manifestors, it's to inform. For projectors, it's to wait for an invitation. And for reflectors, it's to wait for a lunar cycle. So again, your strategy helps you optimize the energy you have, allows you to better use the energy you have. So also, your human design can tell you how to best make decisions. And actually, a lot of us are conditioned to make decisions with our minds. So we overanalyze, over-intellectualize things, and we don't realize that the mind is here really to help us process the outside world. And it's not meant to be turned inward. It's not meant to really predict the future and make decisions. So making decisions, according to the human design framework, it's all about getting back in touch with your body. That's where your unique flavor of intuition lives. So for some people like me, I'm a sacral authority, so for me that intuition is the gut. For some people it's the instinct, for other people it's the heart or the ego. So yeah, you can really connect to your intuition that lives in the body, and the body is really more wise, and that way we don't put as much pressure on our minds to figure things out, really. So the human design chart can tell you lots of other things, the gifts and the talents that you have, the unique combination. It can tell you about whether routine is beneficial for you, whether you should be specific when you're trying to manifest, and it can offer insights on your purpose. So it basically helps you to get to know yourself. And I review my design regularly just to remind myself of my essence. And I used to think it was a bad thing that I wanted to do so many things and I couldn't pick just one, and I changed my mind a lot in terms of anything, careers, passions, my desires. They just changed a lot. I was just like non-linear, and eventually I realized that that's correct for me as a manifesting generator, and I started accepting that more about myself. So I also found I found it hard to be super specific about what I wanted to manifest sometimes. And then I found out that it's right for me to focus more on the feeling and be more open. And I was able to, be more willing to accept that. And it really gave me permission to just be as I am. So that is the first step in a nutshell. That was a long first step, but it's basically get to know yourself. And for me, that tool, the best tool I found is human design, but there's also astrology, and basically get to know how you function optimally. So that's the first step. The second step is all about accepting and loving yourself. So we kind of started on that journey talking about human design. So really committing to accepting and loving yourself as you are. So now that you know your gifts and your design, how you were meant to live, how your soul wants you to show up, you can either meditate on this or journal about this. Really, what would it feel like to fully accept myself the way I am? Like, just imagine that, how great that would feel, like to be really authentically you in every interaction. So really start with that intention to fully accept and love yourself. So you want to get to that inherent worth that you possess, that's kind of outside of your outside attachments. So your career, your bank account, any relationships that, you feel give you worth, your job. So that's the second step, committing to really loving and accepting yourself, and journaling and meditating on what it would be like to fully love and accept yourself. So the third step comes also a bit from human design, but it's really about deconditioning. And deconditioning means making your guidance and your approval the most important one. So it's releasing all the things that the world told you needed to be in order to be successful, loved, etc. So this is about honoring your preferences and your desires, getting really honest about whether you're doing things because they really light you up, because they really excite you, or if you're doing them just to please others or maintain a certain image or status, or because you should. So really identifying what drains you and what gives you energy, and that, the deconditioning will help you get back to like what is your truth, and you'll be able to just be guided from within rather than looking outside for validation or direction. And definitely, once you know your human design, it's easier to, well, it's not really easy to decondition, because the world will always tell you like all the things you need to be. But it's a starting point too, so you know who you really are, and the conditioning is just what, the kind of the mask you've put on throughout the years, because that's what the world told you that, is a good way to be. So that's step 3, deconditioning, coming back to our truth, to our guidance, and making that our guidance the most important part. So now to step 4. Step 4 is all about watching your thoughts. So I've done, awareness challenges where I set the timer throughout the day, and I watch for any thoughts that are about that aren't about what I want. So any negative thoughts, any self-judgment, especially any, negative pictures of the past, or projecting, what will happen in the future, especially if, when it's negative. And it's important to just notice those thoughts and not resist them. So you want to just watch them. Again, not beat yourself up about them. And yeah, just become aware of what you're actually thinking about. And if there are any thoughts that are really stressful to think and really cause you a lot of anxiety, you can use this process, Byron Katie's process, the work that I mentioned before in my videos. And I've used this process a lot. So you take a stressful thought, any stressful thought, but let's say, you think there's something wrong with me, and you question that thought. So is it true that there's something wrong with me? And you answer yes or no. Can I be absolutely sure that it's true that there's something wrong with me? Again, you answer yes or no. Then you move on to the next question. How do I react when I think this thought, that there's something wrong with me? Maybe you have past images that come up that are like proof that there's something wrong with you, or if you think that it will hurt you in the future, so you create these future images. And so really all the experiences, like how does it feel in your body, and how do you treat yourself, how do you treat other people, and you explore all that. Of course, it's a whole process you can do while journaling or with someone else. So then the next question is, who would you be without that thought? So who would I be without this thought that there's something wrong with me? And for me, it's usually like a real feeling of freedom and peace. And you can even compare the two states, like with the thought and without the thought. So it's really interesting. And then eventually you turn the thought around, so you turn it around, meaning like there's nothing wrong with me, and you find 3 reasons why that's true. So that's one process that I like to use, and again, ask me about it if you want more information. And so it's all about becoming aware of your thoughts, and actually like starting a meditation practice can be useful here. So if you want to start meditating and you want me to help you pick a meditation specific to your needs, let me know. I'd be happy to. Kundalini has many meditations, and yeah, so we can pick one specifically for your needs to do for 40 days or however long you want to commit to. And it doesn't have to be a long meditation practice, but it just helps you get into that habit of noticing your thoughts, and also journaling your thoughts, writing down what you're thinking about. That's really important. So again, step 4, watching your thoughts, becoming aware what you're thinking about, because again, those thoughts become beliefs. Like if you think a thought enough times, it becomes a belief, and you can choose to think a new thought if you don't like what these thoughts are creating. So you have that power to choose a new thought. So step 5. So step 5 is probably the most fun. It's visualizing and embodying your desires. The feeling of being in your power, the feeling of abundance. And I love to do this, just, be in the sun, for example, and just like visualize. And, for some people, if it feels good for you to be specific and imagine like a specific situation or scene, and that really is pleasurable for you, then great. But if you prefer to be more general, or in your human design, you are non-specific and non-strategic, you can just focus on that feeling, like viscerally in your body. What would it feel like to just feel so powerful and just know that you have all the abundance you need, you have the career, the clients, so this is a really, really fun exercise, and coming back to that feeling as often as possible, coming back to that visualization, coming back to embodying that power, that purpose, that abundance. If it's about a relationship, what would it feel like to be so in love with the person and have the person be in love with you? So again, those are the 5 steps. And once you go through these 5 steps, so, getting to know yourself, in my case, I choose human design, then, becoming committed to accepting yourself and loving yourself, then deconditioning, making your own guidance the most important thing in your life, or the most important guidepost. Again, then watching your thoughts and becoming aware of your thoughts, and then visualizing the outcome you want, the desire, and so after you get these 5 steps in place, really action comes naturally. Like, it becomes, it's action from the place of alignment. It's inspired, it's effortless, and you don't have to do as much, but it's more effective, really. So you're really motivated from the inside. So those are a few things that I like to do to bring myself back into a space of power, that I use with my clients to bring them back into a space of power. And I can do a human design reading for you, and then we can do coaching to guide you through all of these steps and processes. And obviously there are many more tools. So if you have any questions about the tools, DM me, let me know. And then tune in tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So that's 2 p.m. Eastern. So that will be my 3rd live, and I'll be talking a little bit more about my unique approach to coaching, to personal growth, and creating the life you desire, the success that you deserve. So you can also, if you're ready to get started, you can go to my website, to the link in my bio. It's soniapetetska.com, and you can book a free consultation, free 15-minute consultation, and you can book a human design reading. And I'm actually also going to be starting doing coaching where you can sign up for a month of coaching, and each week you can pick between having a 1-hour call or communicating over Telegram, which is a secure app. It's kind of like WhatsApp but more secure. And you can send me like text messages, voice messages, and audio, and basically you get more real-time support rather than waiting for a call. So anyway, I'll see you tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific, and reach out, let me know if any questions come up, and I'm wishing you a beautiful rest of your day. All right. Talk to you soon.